all in his backyard. They all around the house, tapping on the windows with guns, scaring them and shit. So Big U come out there. This is when Big U was going by the name Hannibal. He come out there and they come bring us in. They really want to recruit us and get us to drop what we doing. They left a note on the wall, you know what I'm saying, on the window, told them they had to be out, you know what I'm saying, by they gave them a time period, you know what I'm saying. So the next day we all go over there super deep, move them out, you know what I'm saying. They burn the house down, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying.
Oh.
Yeah, that's kind of they do. They don't, you know what I'm saying. They real with that. They savage with that. He knew me real well, so he walk up on me, draw down on me, like, what you doing over here? I'm like, man, listen, I just got to get my homeboy. We're going to get up out of here. He was like, man, you know you're not supposed to be over here. But this dude, I could tell he was about more money than gangbanging, and they was over there getting their money. So I kind of, in my mind, felt like, okay, he ain't going to knock me down. Let me just get the homie and get up out of here. He look like they over here just hustling. They ain't tripping, right? You know what I'm saying? So the homie don't come out the house, boom, just to make the story fast, I went and got strapped up, came right back, right? You know what I'm saying? And so, you know what I'm saying?
Rabbit! We about to get critical, man. It's no secret you guys went up against Hawaiian Gardens, you know, the racism. But I'm hearing, man, the Muslims, the Nation of Islam came in there, man, to assist y'all. Talk about that.
So you asked Juan about you asked him what was one of the toughest things he experienced. So it was dealing with the Hawaiian Gardens. This is the cold part about them. That when you beef with them, you bump with them, they don't necessarily come for the other guys that they know are aggressive. So like instead of like they know exactly where we are. They know what streets we are with. They know what alleys we hang out on. They know everywhere we are, just like we know where they are. So when they go to get their get back, they not specific. They shit. You black and you in their neighborhood, they ain't gonna come out. They ain't gonna pass the trail to come put their life on the line. No, they gonna get the blacks right there in Hawaiian Gardens. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, you walking down Norwalk Boulevard, you going to the movie theaters or whatever, they're going to spank you, you know what I'm saying? And you don't even be knowing you're in a dangerous spot. You don't have no idea. So for us, our beef really came from, damn, they got somebody else black. In their mind, they think they got us. Or at least that's the way we looked at it. So we was more like defending all black people over there, even though we knew, you know, it was only a small militant force trying to go up against a city, because you know these dudes got they are the smallest city in LA County, you know, on record the smallest city in LA County, but because of that they was able to succumb the entire city. And when I say they got their city succumb, they so much to where all the businesses and everything have to communicate with them. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what's out there, from grocery stores to everything, have to communicate with them. They really fully got their shit locked down, and it's a real small city with like 16,000 people, and 3,000 of them are them and their family members. You know what I'm saying? You got 3,000, and the rest of them is their family members. So, you know what I'm saying? And so they're a strong force that's been around for generations, since the 40s. And like I said, you know, Wano was talking about that cocktail bottom. That was like in '93 where we had really started going on the offense. And the one he was talking about, so without incriminating ourselves or say nothing crazy, so that particular time there was a group of individuals, group of hustlers that was going to the movies, and over in Hawaiian Gardens, the Long Beach Town Center. And when they got to the intersection on Carson and Pioneer, you know, HGs hit the corner at the same time as them. You know, gang signs went up, guns came out, and so in retaliation to that, instead of them coming across Centralia and doing something over there where they knew the people who did it was, they decided, we're going to get the people that live over here. So, you know what I'm saying, they went over there and cocktail bombed this family of people who was just good citizens trying to just, live. You know what I'm saying? They got them out of there. And but the one, but the one that really stuck with me the most was I had this same within like maybe 2 weeks of this first cocktail bombing. I had a good friend. It was like we was really tapped in and connected with the Long Beach Dogs back then. So we was tapped in with the Long Beach Dogs, and we was tapped in with the Young Foundation. And the reason why we was tapped in with them was because we had the common enemies, which was North Long Beach. Okay, so I had a good friend named Ben Snake from Long Beach Dogs, and I went to go pick him up. Now, they got different cliques, you know what I'm saying? You got the Juan Streets, Diablos, the Loquitos, the Roquitos, and the Diablos. They got these different cliques. So we just bump with all the cliques. And at the Juan Streets, though, the Juan Streets is known for being NK. They just like a savage, real hardcore group, right? And so my man lived over in that area. But we was going to this Power 106 breakfast. I decided I'm going to pick him up early in the morning. And so I go slide up to his house. And when I get to his house, it's a gang of Hawaiian Gardens across the street in front of a little spot. One of the HGs walk up on me, draw down on me. He know me. He recognized me. I didn't recognize none of these HGs, but the one that walked up on me, he knew me real well. So he walked up on me, draw down on me, like, "What you doing over here?" I'm like, "Man, listen, I just got to get my homeboy. We're going to get up out of here." He was like, "Man, you're not supposed to be over here." But this dude, while he was talking to me, I started to think that I knew him, and I could tell he was about more money than gangbanging, and they was over there getting their money. So I kind of in my mind felt like, okay, he ain't gonna knock me down. Let me just get the homie and get up out of here. It look like they over here just hustling. They ain't tripping, right? You know what I'm saying? So the homie don't come out the house, boom. Just to make the story fast, I went and got strapped up, came right back, right? You know what I'm saying? And so... You know what I'm saying?
Rabbit!
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Rabbit!
went over there, I was butt naked. I'm just going because we going to meet up with some females. We on some fly shit. We going to meet up with some of these little celebrities. You know what I'm saying? I was dating a little celebrity at the time. So I was, I got my homeboy. We finna go do it live, right? So we wasn't on that. But then the way he drew down on me, man, he put his gun all in my neck. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, that's, you know what I'm saying? So anyway... we go right back over there, and so, but the problem is, so we ended up going to have a good time, but that same night when my boy Snake came home in the middle of the night, like 9-10 in the morning, they was tapping on his windows with guns.
Oh.
They all in his backyard. They all around the house tapping on the windows with guns, scaring them and shit. So. You know what I'm saying? They left a note on the wall, you know what I'm saying, on the window, told them they had to be out, you know what I'm saying, by they gave them a time period, you know what I'm saying? So the next day we all go over there super deep, move them out, you know what I'm saying? They burn the house down, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Yeah, that's kind of they do. They don't you know what I'm saying? They real with that. They savage with that. And so they did about 3 houses like that. And then the brother Tony Muhammad came out there with it, you know what I'm saying? They came out there and put some pressure out there heavy. Big U come out there. This is when Big U was going by the name Hannibal. He come out there and they come bring us in. They really want to recruit us and get us to drop what we doing and move with the nation. That's what they was trying to get us. That's what Big U was trying to get us to do. But at the time, we didn't even know who Big U was. We wasn't familiar with his situation or who he was. And he was going by Hannibal at the time. And although he was making sense, it was attached to the religion. And I was really the only one that was almost kind of with it. But the religion slowed everybody down. But they came out there with a full campaign and they came and taught us what we needed to do. If we wasn't going to do this is what we needed to do to combat that. They came and gave us lessons and instructions. You know what I'm saying? And but we didn't join with them. But they gave the ones that was willing to listen some real tools to combat prejudice.
Okay. Man. It's every time I think we done reached the the cap of the story, like the height of the climax. You feel me? Out of Big U, it's all kind of stuff tied to this right here, man. This is dope. Nah, for sure, bro. All right, all right.
And
Let's
you know,
let.
I would let me interrupt you. You know how I was telling you that they got like over there, they got different cliques, and some of these dudes are really about their money, and they not so much NK. They all super brown pride, but they waver in different sections of Hawaiian Gardens. But you know what I'm saying. But like one of the things that always intrigued me, MC8. We used to see MC8 slide through there. At first, some of the homies used to follow him. And one day, one of the homies followed MC8, and they saw, damn, this nigga keep going to Hawaiian Gardens. Like, he keep going to Hawaiian Gardens. And the place where he going is the place we can't go. And he going all the time. We keep seeing him. You know what I'm saying? And even get crafty. They like, oh, he got the same routine. He repeating that routine. You know what I'm saying? Like spanky, right? You know what I'm saying? Like his nose up there. But he going to a place where we really is not comfortable going. It's a real bad place. But his mama lived in there, and they showed MC8 so much respect. You know what I'm saying? So much love.
Are you serious?
They did, bro. We couldn't understand like what was that. But then that just go to show you like who knows how things go through with this shit, man. Because that was the one thing that puzzled the shit out of me. Because MC8 was getting so much respect from them dudes. Because they never, man, you know what I'm saying? It was times we slid through there and we see them helping her with her groceries. We like, damn,
what?
Man, I'm telling you, like, you know what I'm saying? Because we knew where they was and they knew where we was, and every now and then we'd go on a campaign just to see. You know what I'm
saying? Man. Rabbit, this shit is crazy, man.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Did you ever get a chance to ever ask him? Anybody ever get a chance to ask him? Like, what's up with that?
Who, MC8?
Yeah, like why they tripping on us and let y'all hang? You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't even think he knew we knew he was moving through there. I don't think he even.
Oh, even to this day?
No, to this day, because he would. You got to come through us to get through there, and so every now and then, every time he come through, he would stop at the same store. And so, and to be honest with you, I had to stop Wino and another dude from jumping on him because they saw him and when I'm slithering down Norwalk and I see these niggas on the side of a store this Wino he terrorized that neighborhood, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Every business that was there, he had a hand in it. You know what I'm saying? So. You know how they said on the movie, you know what I'm saying? If you sell a nickel in the park, you sell a nickel bag in the park, I want a part of it.
Yeah. What's that movie?
The King of
New York. Yep.
Wino was a young man. I'm talking about, 12, 13 years old. You know what I'm saying? If he was making a nickel in the park, he wanted his piece. You know what I'm saying? So. So, one time in the middle of him going to collect his piece, MC8 just happened to pull up to the place where he was about to go. And, you know what I'm saying? I had to start, slow him and another kind of thing, a young activist down, you know what I mean?
Oh,
but we never tapped in with him like that. So I don't even know, maybe I shouldn't even have mentioned where brother's mother lived. That might have been disrespectful. So, I don't know. But, so we never did communicate with him. It's just, we keeping our head on a swivel and we recognizing just what's coming in and coming out because you had to. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. No, that's what's up.
Yeah.
I appreciate that one.
Can I give it just a little?
Man, keep going, man. Keep going, man.
So I want to tell you this. Let me just because the reason why I'm on here because I want to just tell you the community, the lineage of us in the Trey 5-7 because I want if it's gonna be stamped in the statement, I just want everybody to know how much love we have for those dudes and how proud we was. So one of the things that Wano said was we stopped recruiting. The reason why was because we we left it in good hands. Now, one of the things that I had went to the pen and I got out around 2001 or 2, somewhere around that time. And when I was at High Desert, and when I was on High Desert, I was able to put together the first hustler car at High Desert, and it was a mix of dudes like the 706s, 447s, 6-7 hustlers, 7 trade hustlers, the 46 top dollars, the 39th Street top dollars. But the majority of the hustlers was from 605 South. You know what I'm saying? So that was, by doing that, it made me feel like, okay, well, shit, even though we like a small entity, together we strong. You know what I'm saying? So when I came home, one of the things that I wanted to implement was to push the Hustler Mafia thing, because you had 706 pushing on HMG, and then so many of us 605 South, we followed their role. Like, you know what I'm saying, the Cerritos was 447 Hustlers. You had Paramount with 7 Deuce Trays. You had us in Lakewood, you know what I'm saying, and you had the Linwood Hustler Mafias. And I felt like, well, we all, like, you know what I'm saying, underdog hoods. If we come together, now we could line up with the Hoovers, the gangsters, the neighborhoods, and whoever else, if we all under this HMG. And then if we tapping in with on the east side, we was tapped in with them, with the east side hustlers. We tapped in with the hard times. We already tapped in with all these different hustler hoods, just because so many of us going in and out of jail. I'm thinking, we could push this thing. And what ended up happening was the Hustler Nation ended up coming out of that idea. We wasn't able to hold together the HMG because, the Cerritos kind of, they wasn't able to keep their numbers going. We passed ours on to the Trade 5-7. You know what I'm saying? So that was the idea. But what happened, like I say, we didn't keep recruiting because our pool was them anyway. Like, you know what I'm saying? These are our guys. Our next generation was going to be them no matter what, because those were who was in our area, right? Those are our guys, and they was already our brothers. And like I say, we started going to the pen. They started moving in big ways, right? They going out of the state, doing major moves, and then I'm gonna tell you the Trade 5-7 is like initial dudes. So our youngest dudes at the time, we had the most aggressive youngest dudes. And one of those, the main aggressive dude was Wino, and then I would say next under him was the homie RB. But RB, whose name is Roy Burris, he put together his own team, and those dudes was fighters. Like, they could scrap their ass off, but that was as far as they was going. But they mostly was athletes, dudes that had these dreams. Like I said, one of them first 5 was the homie Little Bruce, who was in the movie Freedom Riders. He was doing movies and things like that. You had dudes that was trying to do a lot of different things. But RB was the figurehead of that crew, and RB is my little brother. So the top 5, RB, you got Bevo, you got Big Grooves, you got T-Zone, all these dudes is like, you know what I'm saying, because I initially am like a half a square, I'm like a square that could get active. And so for me, a lot of the Trade 5-7s flocked to me because I had the same mentality as, if we're going to go to the party, I'm going to outdance everybody. When they go to the party, they're going to try to outdance you. You know what I'm saying? I'm on some fly shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to have the best car in the neighborhood. I'm trying to have I'm trying to dress the best. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to bag the best thing. You know what I'm saying? But at the same token, I'm going to bop your brains out if you go too far with me, right? So, So those dudes, a lot of those dudes followed my way, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm more of a protector than an aggressor. And so a lot of those dudes followed behind me. And then I felt obligated to protect those guys. And then, so like I say, when I went to jail, though, they kind of developed and moved in a certain way. And next thing I know, RB has put himself in him and his brothers have established something that we wasn't able to establish. They really moving in the hard way, and next thing you know, they tapped in with the BMS. And so
Wow.
at this point, we no longer have like they've grown so enormously. Our connection with them is just with their top ranking guys. They've got so many young soldiers that we not even connected to. But what they did to keep the love with us was they attached the hustlers on the back of their Trade 57. Because at first they used to be a three letter acronym, and then they followed our suit by that 3 letter acronym on the phone is Trade 57. And so just to show the love for us, they threw the hustlers on the back to say, okay, we still family. You know what I'm saying? Let's do no matter what, right? But then, like I say, they tapped in with the BMF. They turned into the real connection from St. Louis to California. And then next thing you know, RB, who was the general of the Trade 57s, he ended up tapping in with the Sinaloa cartel. And it's, eventually, of course, they got to deal with the FBI and all those things, and I think that affected them in a heavy way.
Oh, okay. Damn. Man, that's a lot, bro. I feel like this just part one. It's just so much that we
Yeah, I
probably
hope I
don't even.
didn't. I hope I didn't just babble on, man. I
No,
try to
no, no, no. I
go.
didn't mean it like that. I mean
Yeah,
it's history, bro. It's history in the set, man.
yeah,
That's what
yeah,
it is.
yeah.
All right. Well, let's let just for part one. It seemed like, bro. Let's just give them officially from the horse's mouth
Mm-hmm.
the borderlines, because I'm hearing, the map that I showed, which is on Google, is kind of inaccurate. You guys got more territory.
Yeah, just slightly inaccurate because um, we, like I say, on the front side we on Delamo, on the back side we on Centralia, on to the far we on Bloomfield. See, Norwalk Boulevard is in the middle of us, but our first home base, which is the Village Apartments, it's it's on the other side of Norwalk, and then the Hawaiian Garden Apartments is on the other side of Norwalk, and so we are actually down Delamo, Bloomfield, Centralia, the Pioneer. So it's two giant blocks. It's not a lot of territory, but the blocks are humongous blocks. And but yeah, it's Centralia, it's Delamo, Bloomfield, Centralia, Pioneer. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
And the difference is those because like one of the things I want to do clarify is you asked about whether that neighborhood was Lakewood or Cerritos, right?
Yeah.
Delamo on one side, you got Artesia High School, you got basically the only thing on the other block is the field. You got some homes, and then across the street, once you cross the Delamo, you are in Cerritos, and right across the street, that's where you have the Asian gangs. You got the watching, like you really
Yeah.
you wouldn't see them, but like if you live there, you know that's their area. So you got the Wachings, you got the Santanas, you got the Sarzanas, you got the West Side Islanders, and so that's just you got the Chinese gangs, you got the Filipinos, you got the Cambodians, right? They all got their own crews, but they right across the street from us. And those are the dudes with all the good weapons. Like, when they get cracking with the Mexicans, like heavy, right? But when they do their thing, they'll come bring you they just give it away. You know what I'm saying? After they get cracking, they like, you know what I'm saying, take this for like $3 something. You know what I'm saying? They get active, bro. They beat more with each other, but when they get cracking, they get a firearms for it.
Oh yeah.
And so we got the Asians right there. And then if you go, once you get behind the Asians, that's where the real Artesians start picking up. That's why I was saying, like, the Lakewood side Artesians, they numbers wasn't strong. You know what I'm saying? But on paper, that was their area. It was good for us. It was good for us on paper that was their area because it gave us an alliance with them because, we was able to help them keep their spot. We never, even though it was ours, but it was theirs, you know what I'm saying? And so we never disrespected the Artesians. And at one point, when they had this, when the AGs was running all through their section, we had got injured. One of my big homies, my homie K9 Aaron Smith, he took me to go meet these two essays that lived in this section, right? and it was Matt Marquez and Jake Marquez, and so those dudes had a heavy influence in this area, and but they wasn't from Hawaiian Gardens, and you know what I'm saying, and so but they was heavily influenced. Their father was an OG from Barrio Norwalk or Norwalk One Ways, right? And so these dudes was under a different politics, so they wasn't really even supposed to be over there. But they had so much respect and command. So, you know what I'm saying? When my homie took me over there, yeah, eventually they gave me permission. They gave me and the homie Trig, you know what I'm saying? The homie Trigger, man, that's my like, you know what I'm saying, even compadre. We come in at the same time. They gave us permission to basically take this area, you know what I'm saying? Even though it didn't belong to it just they was willing to back us, you know what I'm saying? And so we put a full campaign to move them all out, you know what I'm saying? But then they gave the Artesians back their spot, you know what I'm saying? Because it gave them like, to be honest with you, they was able to pretend like they was holding it, right? You know what I'm saying? And so we was able to assist them in holding that area, and we just shared it. And so that's how we was able to maintain all of that with the kind of the help of the Artesians might on the other side. Now, once you get behind them Asians I was telling you about, now you got the full might of the Artesians. You got the Artesians and you got the Chivas. And the cool part about these two gangs, they so big and powerful, they both got heavy members from the Mexican Mafia, right? You know what I'm saying? So, like, one of the most polarizing figures ever to come out the Mexican Mafia is from Artesia and his Enrique Boxer. They made a movie about him. It's called The Tax Collector. He was like a legend over there, right? You know what I'm saying? And so they wars was treacherous between them two, and it's just they surrounded us, bro. And so we just a small section, but we just held on to our section the best we could. You know what I'm saying? We put really, really, really. Once those guys come into our section, they don't really stand a chance. You know what I'm saying? But once we go into theirs, we don't really stand a chance either. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. Well, nah, I feel it. I feel it. Rabbit, much love, bro. I appreciate the time, man, and definitely the history, bro.
Yeah,
I might
man.
gotta chop this into parts, man. I can't give them this whole P right here, man. They don't deserve this, you
Yeah,
know.
man. Do it just like Mixmaster Dre, man. Do your thing, man. And do what you do with this thing, brother. Listen, I just want to say, rest in peace, T-Zone from the Trade 5-7. Rest in peace, Lil Grooves, man. You know what I'm saying? Armand Jones. And to the whole rest of our fallen soldiers. One love to Worldwide Wiggins and everybody listening in YouTube world and beyond. And your boy John tapping out, you know what I'm saying? 7 Up, Lurs forever.
For sure. Much love. I appreciate you, man. 7 Deuce 5 Hustlers, Rabbit. Shout out to Wino. We gone.
So.
Yeah.